Welcome to the Ashmolean Museum and the Viewing Art Mindfully podcast. My name is Ruth Collins and I'm a trained mindfulness teacher working with the Ashmolean. I would like to introduce you to the practices you will be doing today. We will begin with a mindful arriving and preparing to view practice. This will be followed by a talk from one of the curators from the Ashmolean, who will guide you mindfully through a specially selected object from the museum. Coming to settle. Ideally, you will be sitting on a seat that supports you to be upright, relaxed, but alert, with your feet placed easily on the floor in front of you. If you feel comfortable about doing so, allowing your eyes now to close, otherwise letting your gaze drop and soften so that you are not looking at anything in particular. Setting an intention now to arrive fully by connecting with a sense of the body sitting. Perhaps you can feel the distribution of the body's weight on the chair. Let yourself be fully supported by whatever you are sitting on. Once you feel settled, just checking in with your position. You might want to adjust your posture slightly to feel more comfortable. It can be helpful to lengthen the back a little, relaxing your shoulders, opening your chest, tucking your chin in slightly to elongate the spine to allow for a smooth flow of breath from the nose or the mouth all the way down to the abdomen and back again. Now, bring your awareness all the way down to your feet, with the intention not being to think about your feet, but to feel sensations in the feet. Notice the point at which your feet make contact with the floor, the balls and the heels of the feet, the toes. Perhaps you can feel the toes lightly touching each other, or maybe you can feel the texture of any material that's resting on the feet, or the firmness of footwear encasing them. Allow yourself to gently and curiously explore each and every sensation that you can detect. And if you can't feel anything, that's fine too. Just being curious about this also. All the while, the mind will intrude and try to pull your attention away from the focus of the feet. Whenever this happens, as best you can, coming back to simply feeling sensations in your feet once more. Now letting go of your feet, turn your attention to your seat, your buttocks, your sit bones, your thighs on the chair. Bring your awareness to the sensations of sitting, the firmness of the chair beneath you, the point at which the thighs extend beyond the end of the seat perhaps, the sensations of clothing in contact with the skin. Maintaining as best you can a simple, non-judgmental curiosity as you explore sensations of touch and pressure, returning to the anchor of sitting whenever the mind tries to entice you away to think about something else. As soon as you notice this happening, bringing your awareness mindfully back to whatever sensations you can identify while sitting on the chair. Moving the attention away from sitting now and shifting the focus of your awareness to your hands. Feel your hands whilst they're still. Perhaps the hands are resting on each other, or laying on your lap, or the chair arms. Just taking a moment or two to explore sensations wherever you notice them. A feeling of roughness or smoothness from the surface they are lying on. A sense of softness or firmness of touch. There may be skin-to-skin contact where the hands connect. A sense of the spread or closeness of the fingers and thumbs. Working from the tips of the fingers all the way through the hands now. The backs of the hands, the knuckles, the palms. You may feel coolness or warmth as the air lightly brushes over the skin. The mind will wander as minds do. Whenever this happens, patiently and gently returning your focus to the physical feelings and sensations of the hands. Letting go of the hands now, bringing your awareness to your upper body and to the sensations of breathing. Not needing to change how you're breathing, but just tuning in to the natural rhythm of the breath that is already there breathing for you. Notice how the abdomen gently rises and falls as you inhale and exhale. For a moment or two, just focusing on following one breath all the way in and one breath all the way out. Perhaps being aware of a slight pause between the breath as you breathe in and the breath as you breathe out. If the mind drifts away or gets caught up in thinking, simply drawing your attention back once more to the anchor of the breath and the body sitting here breathing. With full awareness of the body sitting here, right now, and whilst continuing to keep the eyes closed or the gaze softened, gently expanding the spotlight of your attention to become aware of sensations in the body as a whole. Perhaps you feel the body moving slightly with the breath, a slight rocking or swaying, or points at which the body makes contact with another surface, a slight tingling sensation, the coolness or warmth of the skin. Widening your awareness further, perhaps you can detect other things through the senses too. Maybe you can hear sounds around you, sounds near and far. Keeping the focus on the aliveness of your senses, preparing to open your eyes now, ready to bring your full attention to the work of art presented in front of you.
The object I would like to look at is a large semicircular tile made in Iran around the second half of the 19th century and currently displayed in the Gallery of Islamic Middle East here at the Ashmolean. What has always amused me are the expressions and body language of the men and women depicted in it, so different from the conventions normally found in Islamic pictorial arts. A rhapsody in blue, a color so popular in the Persian tradition, the composition is finely outlined in black down to the tiniest details. The 3-dot patterns scattered on the robes, the petals and leafage in the background, the thick band of interwoven palmettes bordering the panel. The figures float in this textured and saturated space, the top row gently following the curved profile of the object, while those along the base almost form a pyramid underneath the turbaned attendant at the center of the composition. Our eyes are instantly drawn to this figure and the large tray of food he is balancing above his head, one somewhat disproportioned for the tiny clusters of sweetmeats and fruits laid on it and about to delight the guests. Rather than focusing on his task, however, the servant's gaze is skewed, clearly distracted by the ladies on his immediate right, who seem to have lost composure as their bodies rock, causing their legs to part and their arms to seek steady support on the ground. Something just disrupted their quiet lounging. If we move our eyes upwards, starting from the lower left-hand corner of the tile and passing through the 4 turbaned participants on this side, our eyes encounter a couple, the real protagonists of our story. A charming, clean-shaved young man and a lady sitting right across from him. Wrapped in his pink headgear and blazing halo, he looks at her and extends his arm to offer a drink, possibly a cup of the wine poured a moment earlier from the slim bottle resting on his lap. She returns the invitation by looking back and extending both her arms in his direction, her pale countenance framed by a diaphanous embroidered veil resting on her smooth black hair. Between them is another court assistant who seems transfixed by the haloed man beneath. The same could be said for the rest of the entourage standing behind the lady, the crossed arms and hands on heart capturing the commotion of the moment. These people's gazes, however, give away the reason for their emotional turmoil. This is our mysterious and ravishing young man, whom we can identify with the Quranic Yusuf or the biblical Joseph. In the book of Genesis, Joseph is the penultimate son of Jacob and one of his favorites. This causes jealousy in his brothers, who decide to sell him as a slave to merchants heading to Egypt. Once there, Joseph is appointed as house servant by the wealthy Potiphar and quickly attracts the attention of his wife because of his looks. She first tries to seduce him, and after being rejected, she accuses him of rape and has him imprisoned. It is during the captivity that his talent to interpret dreams reaches the ears of the Pharaoh. After helping him avert a calamity by interpreting one of his visions, Joseph is eventually released and admitted to the highest ranks of Egyptian administration, rewarded for his sincerity and insight. In the Quran, Islam's holy book, and the text more relevant for our object, the story of Yusuf's seduction has another twist. After rejecting the advances of his master's wife, the young man is saved from going to prison by someone who had actually witnessed the real events. Rumors of the lady's attempts at seducing him, meanwhile, spread around town. To defend her honor, she thus decides to invite some of the gossipers to a banquet, to challenge them and proved them that falling in love with Yusuf was, in fact, beyond her control. After distributing fruits and cutlery to her guests, the hostess orders Yusuf to enter and join the party. Overwhelmed by his beauty, some of the guests almost faint, losing control and ending up cutting their hands. "That is the one about whom you blamed me," the mistress announces, "and I certainly sought to seduce him, but he firmly refused. And if he will not do what I order him, he will surely be imprisoned and will be of those debased." Yusuf once again refuses, and he is now sent to prison. Let's now look again at the tile. You may notice that some of our ladies are indeed holding knives in their hands. What we are thus witnessing in the panel is the moment in which the charms of the young Yusuf capture these women's hearts, overwhelming their minds and causing them to lose control, just as Potiphar's wife had experienced. Various literary adaptations in Arabic, Turkish, Urdu and Bengali made this story popular across the Muslim world. This includes the 15th century Persian poem by Jami entitled Yusuf and Zuleykha, where Yusuf becomes a paragon of the lover and the beloved, a metaphor of man's love for God, common amongst Muslim mystics. As a beloved, Yusuf is a mirror of divine beauty, which can thus be contemplated and accessed through him. As a lover, he is able to resist worldly seductions in order to direct his attention to the only worthy source of love, the Almighty God. This mystical side of Yusuf's tale was eventually responsible for its success in the visual arts of Iran. Under the Qajar dynasty in the 19th century, when our tile was made, the revival of Islamic mysticism, also known as Sufism, and interest in history meant that these very subjects came to permeate the visual arts. This includes private architectural decoration, where friezes of tiles like this one once adorned people's homes, keeping them inspired and entertained.